You won't believe what Kaysenet did in a soccer game. Jake and Logan Paul were totally embarrassed. And in another challenge, Alicia Lehman completely outplayed this YouTuber. These are the best matchups between players and YouTubers. But let's start with Mohamed Salah, who absolutely embarrassed this guy. The challenge was with the channel Copa 90 Football, and it was pretty simple. They had to hit the ball into the corner of the goal. At first, the Egyptian started badly and missed all his shots.
Off the post. Pressure's on. You would get. Pressure's on. Pressure's on. Next one. I've got that one.
While the YouTuber scored twice.
Lucky, okay. 2?
But things changed when the challenge switched to hitting the goal in the top corner. Salah completely destroyed his challenger.
Oh, la, 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 la. 2. Oh, la.
When they went back to the corner shot challenge, Salah nailed every shot. To finish, they did a one-on-one challenge, but it was pretty clear that the Liverpool star took it easy and didn't try to score. Because face-to-face with the goalkeeper like that, Salah doesn't miss. But this isn't the only challenge he's done. Check out what happened when this YouTuber challenged Salah's speed. In the small goal challenge, the Egyptian also did amazingly well. Against these YouTubers from the channel Pro Direct Soccer, there was also a crossbar challenge. In fact, Liverpool itself has their players do challenges on their YouTube channel. But before we talk about that, check out what they did against a national team. Jake Paul is one of the biggest YouTubers in the world, and he decided to challenge the US national football team. There were some attempts at hitting the crossbar, heading challenges, Olympic goal shots, and several others. But overall, it was clear that football isn't really YouTube's strong suit. Jake's brother, Logan Paul, also tried his hand at football, and it was obvious he wasn't born to be a player either. He was invited by Barcelona for an event, but instead of facing a player, his rival was an electronic goalkeeper. The two brothers also took the chance to do some challenges in the streets of Barcelona, but they really had a tough time when they invited Erling Haaland for a penalty shootout. They couldn't stop any of his shots, even with two goalkeepers. Besides the challenges, they did a podcast together, but nothing compares to what the channel SV2 did. He got the chance to meet and play with big players like Hazard and even World Cup champions like Kaká and Roberto Carlos. He was even coached in this match by Arsene Wenger. Neymar and Mbappe were challenged by this guy. His name is Theo Baker, and he managed to do some challenges against several players from Paris Saint-Germain. The first challenge was against Donnarumma. But even trying to trick the giant Italian, he couldn't succeed. And the worst part is, he ended up conceding a great goal from the goalkeeper. But things got really serious when he appeared with Neymar and got completely humiliated. The challenge was to keep the ball from hitting the ground, and whether it was nerves or not, the guy lost in a really silly move. After the Brazilian, Mbappe came up, and the challenge was a simple goal-scoring contest. Check out the bizarre shots the YouTuber missed. But that doesn't compare to the embarrassment Kaysenet went through. The YouTuber joined some charity games and really tries to do well. Check out his training before the match. But in the last game he played, a player showed up to humiliate him. Kay spent the whole game trying to score a goal, but only ended up embarrassing himself, even missing a penalty kick.
Can he please open the scoring for AMP? Kai? Oh my lord, off the woodwork and back out.
He did manage to score a goal, But by the end of the match, his team was losing 6-5 when a player came in. While Kay was injured, Daniel Sturridge, a former Liverpool player, showed up to tie the game that the YouTuber was losing. This wasn't the streamer's first game. A while back, he was in another charity match, and once again, he embarrassed himself with an offside goal that was disallowed.
I don't think he knows he's off. It's a speed situation 2.0.
It's a lovely finish.
Before we show the challenges from the Liverpool players, we have to talk about Celine Dept. She has over 30 million subscribers and has challenged many top-tier players. One of her best challenges was against Alicia Lehmann, the most famous female football player. They started with a challenge that wasn't really related to football, which was basically a quick thinking test. But things got interesting when the girls began the ball challenges. The first game was trying to catch balls while blindfolded. There was also a challenge to try and sit on the ball at the right moment. But Celine really struggled with the speed challenge. Alicia absolutely humiliated the YouTuber. And the best part was the challenge against the goalkeeper. The idea was to shoot from outside the box, and obviously, Alicia did an amazing job. Oh, and there was another player from the Swiss national team in this challenge. In another challenge, they had to control a pass and bring the ball into a square without letting it touch the ground. And to wrap it up, there was the famous one-on-one and a penalty shootout. And I don't even need to say who came out on top, right? She's also done challenges with male football players. Celine got access to Belgium's training sessions and convinced Lukaku and Doku to participate in a video. This time, the game was more elaborate. The idea was a penalty shootout with targets in the corners of the goal, and hitting the targets would obviously score more points. To make it even harder, there was a goalkeeper to get in the way, and they couldn't always use their cleats, as some shoes were chosen at random before the kicks. There were some great goals, like this one from Doku and this almost goal from Lukaku. But it was the one-on-one that got really interesting. For those who think the players would humiliate the YouTuber, get ready for a surprise because Celine did an amazing job. How she gets in contact with all these players, I don't know, but she's posted videos meeting several stars like Emiliano Martinez, Kvaratskhelia, Haaland and others. But one of the coolest challenges she has ever done was against one of the worst goalkeepers in EAFC. The idea was to take 100 shots and see if the worst goalkeeper was really terrible or if the football video game was being unfair. And the result will surprise you. Out of the 100 shots, she managed to score only 23. Celine also got access for challenges against players from Paris Saint-Germain. Since we already talked about that in another video, I'll leave a card at the end of this one with those challenges. But first, check out the challenges that Liverpool players are required to do. To keep their social media active, the club has players and even the coaching staff do some challenges. This is how a padel match between Klopp and Mo Salah and Thiago came about. And even playing against guys with an athlete's physique, Klopp put up a fight and made some great plays. Salah is more versatile than you might think. Besides being an excellent forward and playmaker, he plays paddle in his spare time and is also great at table tennis. In a challenge against defender Lovren, the forward showed that he's good at any sport. Before you click on the video appearing on your screen to see more matchups between YouTubers and players, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get new videos.